to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rikakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Aki Awasap, and today's lesson is entitled The Remnant. Got some precepts going into the Lord dealing with the remnant, and Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. We're going to start here in Isaiah 10 and 20, and it reads, For though thy people of Israel, Slakia, Isaiah 10 and 20, and it shall come to pass in that day. Whenever you come across this phase, it shall come to pass. This is speaking about prophecy. All right. The Lord deals with prophecy. All right. That's the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai when you read Revelation 19 and 10. And before I continue to read this precept, let me further go into how the Lord deals with prophecy. Now, you will find with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the men that the Lord set up to be teachers and shepherds over the flock, our conversation consists of prophecy. All right. We made things that's written aforetime in the precepts and made them with the things that we see in the world, and we supply the sheep with lessons, man, to edify and build up. You know, that's what your conversation should be about. It's prophecy. You know, it's Isaiah 48. It says it's either 48 and 10 or 46 and 10. You know what? Maybe 46. And just be patient. And that's how these lessons come out, man. We flow with the spirit. Yeah, it's actually 46. Isaiah 46. Start at 9. It says, Remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. Now, that's not to say that the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because some people, some Israelites will use precepts like this to justify that there's no son, all right, no son of the Most High. But you got to understand that the Son and the Heavenly Father is one. So when it says there is none else, meaning there's no other entity up there that's contrary to the Most High, but he's still a power, because this word God means power. Just like with the various Greek mythology, you have all these different gods. You got Zeus, you got Pallades, you got Athenia and Apollos. You got these other gods that rule different, dominions and different areas. The water god, the sun god, the land god. With the Most High is just one power. It's none else. It's one power that controls everything that you see on the earth, that created everything that you see on the earth. Here's a point, verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning. What is that? That's prophecy. The Most High has declared the end from the beginning. And from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So the counsel of the Lord is prophecy. The pleasures of the Lord is prophecy, declaring the end from the beginning. That's what the Lord take pleasure in, And being that we're turned back into the Lord in truth, we're supposed to delight in that. We're supposed to delight in the prophecies. This is Jeremiah 9 and 23. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. Yeah, because the Lord can take all that shit away. You know what I mean? We was once a renowned people. For example, Issachar knew the signs of the times. We had Levites who, knew particular things about the stones, was able to communicate with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai through the Urim and the Thummim. The Lord took that away. He says, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. David, had 37 mighty men. that was able to run through troops. One man would chase 1,000. Look at Samson. Samson beat the shit out of 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. That was taken away. Let not the rich man glory in his riches. We had, men who had, a lot of substance, like Solomon. Solomon was the wisest and richest man, but due to him being driven off in idol worship and, getting deceived by his woman, which was all set up in the spirit, the kingdom was taken from him. So you're not supposed to glory in these earthly things, man, because once again they can all be snatched away from you. But let him that glorieth in this, that he understand and knoweth me. See, by us being brought back into the Heavenly Father, we're understanding. The Lord has given us the spirit of understanding, putting the spirit of the Most High upon us to receive the things that's being taught unto us. And as we're coming up on a level of understanding and knowing the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the power of the whole earth, we know that the Lord delight in prophecy. That's his counsel. That's his pleasure. That I, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which exercise loving kindness. Example of the Lord's loving kindness is Isaiah 14:1. For I will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined unto them. They shall cleave unto the house of Jacob, roughly paraphrasing, which those strangers is Israelites. So that's an example of loving kindness, judgment. All right. These prophecies consist of judgment because we often speak about what? Famine, pestilence, tribulation, war, evil. All right. Cannibalism. All right, racial tensions, uproars of the people, and the Lord exacting judgment on individuals who take light of his counsel. And righteousness, we speak about the kingdom of heaven, following after the way of righteousness, repenting, in the earth. All these things happen in the earth. For these things I delight, saith Yahweh. So the Lord delight in those things. So we're speaking about the things that the Lord delight, and the Lord's delight is the elect of Israel. Right now it is written, all Israel shall be saved, but the Lord is going to deliver his elect from the four winds of heaven during this tribulation. Let's get Galatians 6:16. It says, and as many as walk according to this rule is this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding, these prophecies, putting on therefore the elect, understanding the mysteries and the different secrets of the Lord, peace be on them and mercy upon the Israel of the Most High. The Israel of the Most High is the elect. That's another name for the elect. Now Romans 9 speaks about how all Israel is not of Israel. This is Romans 9:6, which you really should start at the top, man, because it's a lot of information on how the Lord is only dealing with Israel, which the Lord is only dealing with Israel. It says Romans 9:6, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, because the Lord's word is going to take effect. These prophecies is going to take effect, man. For they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Yeah, because within the chosen, you have a chosen. All right. Israel is the chosen people of the Most High, right? Deuteronomy 7. Let's get this real quick. We're going to bounce back to Romans 9. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. So the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the people that the Lord have made a covenant with through sacrifice, are people that the Lord has plucked up out of all the nations of the earth to be near and dear unto him. And we were brought near and dear unto the Lord through the covenants, the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? But within that, you have an elect. Let's get a couple more precepts on how the Lord is dealing with Israel. This is Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1, ye are the children of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, your power. Or you can say the children of God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness between your eyes for the dead. Yeah, and that was a mourning. That was a practice of mourning, which it was going off. But in the ancient world, individuals would cut themselves. They would pluck off their hair, they would pluck off their beard, they would rend their clothes, and then they cut themselves to be in a state of mourning. That was a form of afflicting yourself, right? It says, "Thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power." Holy meaning what? Set apart. And Yahweh have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. So the Lord deals with choosing. That's one thing that you got to understand. Now let's go back here to Romans 9, because once again, all Israel is not of Israel, because the Lord is dealing with the elect. It says Romans 9:6, not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. So within Israel, the elect, you have a chosen. All right? You have a chosen. Just as when we continue to read in the 7th verse, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thou seed be called. Yeah, because Abraham had another son, Ishmael. Mosai wasn't dealing with Ishmael, although the Lord blessed Ishmael. The Lord chose Isaac. As it says here, Isaac shall thy seed be called. Yeah, because Isaac was the chosen one. The Lord deals with particular individuals, you know. That is they which are the children of the flesh, all right, Ishmael and then Abraham's other sons. These are not the children of the Most High. And we read who the children of the Most High in Deuteronomy 14:1, the Israelites. But the children of the promise are counted for the seed. The children of the promise is who? Isaac, Jacob, and all of Jacob's sons, which Jacob's sons make up the Israelites. You know? Now let's go back here to Isaiah 10:20, where we started. And it shall come to pass in that day. Once again, that's a phrase speaking about prophecy. That the remnant of Israel, now one might ask, okay, what is the remnant? What does that mean? Remnant, going back to the Hebrew word sha'ar, rest, residue, remainder. All right. So a small portion of a large matter. Now the large matter will be to all Israel, but the remnant thereof will be a small portion of that. Now, the small portion of that we get the understanding of in Zechariah 13. This is Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass, there go that phrase again, dealing with prophecy, that in all the land, what land? The land of Babylon the Great, which is America, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. The 2 parts, or as we would say, 2/3, is going to get cut off and die. Why? Because they're unrepentant sinners. They're individuals who cast the word by the wayside, might have came in the truth and endured in season and fell out. They turned their back on the plow. Individuals where they heard this word and this word had no part in them, and they forsook it. All right. Individuals who are driven off of idol worship and iniquity, and eating of unclean foods, and being drug dealers, gang bangers, individuals that's following at the American dream and black culture and Mexican culture. Grandma, granddad that's in the church. Your cousins in front of the liquor store. These jakes that's in the political spectrum and thinking that they've made it. All these athletes, they ain't repented and came into the truth, the gospel. All your entertainers, all these people, man, is gonna get cut off and die here. Because they set by this truth, this wisdom, this life. And the third shall be left therein. That the third, or the 1/3, that's the elect. That should be left. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. Yeah, there's going to be a trying process for the elect. But the elect is prophesied to get through that. It's Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, yet these prophecies enduring unto the end, believing on the Lord Yahweh Shai, calling upon his name, standing stiffly for his name. He was teaching and preaching his truth. He presented your body a living sacrifice. We kept, Lord willing, we kept the word of the Lord's patience. I will also I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. What does the word temptation mean? It means trials and tribulations. There's going to be different things that we're going to be presented with in this walk of life to test our mettle. One of which is being presented with the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, because this economy will collapse. The economy will collapse, and the dollars and the coins that we use will be done away with. And in order for you to sustain some type of life, to continue to navigate through this system, this power, this grid, all right, you would have to be a part of the grid. And you receiving the RFID chip in your right hand, which is the mark of the beast, that will enable you to still be able to operate and navigate throughout this wicked and perverse system full of iniquity and evil and deception. Now, this technology will be very enticing, because as it is written in Revelation 13, no man may buy or sell save he that have the mark. So you won't be able to get your kids diapers and infant meal. You won't be able to get yourself bread and water and meat, But the Lord, which is in control of all things, because as our elder apostle Tahar said, this is the Most High chip. This is the Most High agenda. The Lord put the spirit on these Edomites to bring this technology out to try those individuals. So if the Lord did that, best believe the Lord can also, provide us food, But the point is, the Lord will keep us from the hour of temptation. The Lord will put the spirit on us to reject that chip and make a way for us to endure into the end. It says, which shall come upon the world. Now, when you go on this word world, because there's 3 different Greek words for the word world in the New Testament. This word in particular goes back to the Greek word oikomene, which is the whole inhabited world. You also have the word aion, which is a time period. When you read in Matthew, the 24th chapter, all right, where the disciples was asking, when shall these times be and when shall be the end of the world? When you go into that word world, it's aion, which is a time period or age. And then you have the word world going back to the Greek word cosmo, which is a particular sect in a harmonious arrangement, which is the elect of Israel. You read that in John 3:16. So this word world is speaking about oikomene. So this temptation, this RFID chip is going to come upon the world. And we believe that this coronavirus, this vaccination is going to segue into the mandatory implementation of the RFID chip that's going to come upon the world, because this mates well with Esau causing all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and brown, to receive a mark in his right hand or his forehead. The forehead is the neural chip, because this coronavirus is causing all to submit into the power and the rule of the government. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast what thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Whatever knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Lord has blessed you with, you hold fast, you secure it. Because with that, you will get a crown. And we all want the crown. Back here in Isaiah 10 and 20, it says, and it shall come to pass that the remnant of Israel, or the third, as we read in Zechariah 13th chapter. Was I done in Zechariah 13th chapter? No, it wasn't. Let's finish this. Zechariah 13 and 9. It says, and I will bring a third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, will try them as gold is tried. We read a part of that trying, the ultimate trying, being the hour of temptation, which is you being presented with the RFID chip. Within that hour, you're going to be tempted with the RFID chip, but the spirit of the Most High will have you to deny it. They shall call upon my name. They shall call on my name, which the elect will have the name of the Lord, which we believe and teach that the Lord's name is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. And that's Paleo Hebrew, which is written in Zechariah 13 and 9, that the Lord will turn unto a people a pure language, that they may call on the name of the Lord with one consent. And that's the Hebrew that we open up the videos with. It says, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people. We know the people of the Lord is the Israelites, right? But the people of the Lord is the elect of Israel in these times. It says, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. So they're going to believe in the Most High. These are the believers. Now let's go back to Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, those that escape of the house of Jacob, or the separation of the house of Jacob is the elect and non-elect, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Who smote us in these times? Esau, even the so-called white man who was ruling the earth in wickedness, deception, and guile. We no longer stand on him. Because when you go into this word stay, it simply means to lean on or support. But shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So the prophecy says that the elect is going to stay upon Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. And as it is written in Tobit and other various precepts in the Bible, we turn unto the Lord will turn unto us. Meaning the Lord is going to be our strength and power, and he's going to give angels charge over us to keep us in all our ways. The remnant shall return, repent, believe in the Lord, call upon the names of the Lord, have his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. Even the remnant of Jacob unto the almighty power. All right. So that's one precept going into the Lord dealing with. We went into various precepts going into the Lord dealing with the remnant, but this in particular displays how the elect will turn unto the Lord in truth. What is the truth? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites. All right. The names of the Lord is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Edomites is so-called white people. The RFID chip is the mark of the beast. America is Babylon the Great. All right. The so-called UFOs are the chariots of Israel, which are also known as the chariots of salvation, which will save the elect out of this tribulation. You know, World War III is coming. You know, and the list goes on. Now let's go here to Jeremiah 31. It's Jeremiah 31 and 7. And it reads, for thus saith Yahweh, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, Yahweh save thy people, the remnant of Israel. So the Lord is going to save thy people, the remnant of Israel. And I will bring them from the north country. North country is America, Babylon the Great, which all Israel, you can find all tribes here. And Esau is ruling in this north country. This is Zechariah chapter 2, verse 6. Ho, ho, come forth, flee from the land of the north, saith Yahweh. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith Yahweh. Here the Israelites been scattered. All right. But chiefly, they're in the land of the north. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. All right. Daughter of Babylon, the land of the north, is ruled by who? Well, who rules or who is synonymous with the daughter of Babylon? Let's get this in Isaiah 37, verse 7. It says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Yeah, these Edomites was alongside the Babylonians to destroy or besiege Jerusalem and burn our temples. O daughter of Babylon. Esau, Edom is synonymous with the daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed in his second death, which is by way of fire. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast rewarded us. The Lord deals with recompense. 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. Yeah, the Lord is gonna, what a man soweth is that what a man shall reap. Esau did it to us. It's gonna be done to him through the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But the point is, Edom is synonymous with the daughter of Babylon. So back in Zechariah chapter 2 and 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, the Israelites that dwell up with the daughter of Babylon. Where do they dwell with the daughter of Babylon? In the land of the north. So back here in Jeremiah 31 and 8, it says, behold, I will bring them from the north country. That's where the major deliverance is going to take place, and gather them from the coast of the earth. And with them the blind, the lame, and the woman with child. The blind, the lame goes into the individuals, or goes into Israel having the curses on them. Because when you read in Revelation 21, it says, there shall be no more curse, no more sorrow, no more pain. The woman with child and her that travail together. So you're going to have women that's going to be pregnant and women that's going to have little children that's going to receive salvation. A great company shall return thither. All right. All right, now let's see. Jeremiah 23. In 3, it says, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I have driven them. Because you're going to have an elect all throughout the world. But the 1/3 and the 2/3, that specifically applies to Babylon the Great. 1/3 is coming out of here, 2/3 is getting destroyed up out of here. And I will bring them to their folds here. The Lord going to put us in our land. And they shall be fruitful and increase here, because there will be sex in the kingdom. And I will set shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. Yeah, so we're going to have, the Lord is going to supply us with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, which shall be our faith, which will enable us to not fear. We will be shaken up. But as is written in Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Nor be dismayed. We ain't going to be ashamed that we waited on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh. And then I'll pull this other one here in Matthew the 24th chapter. And I'll end it there. This is Matthew 24 and 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of the trumpet. When you read in Revelation 11:8, that great trumpet that's going to sound will sound like this. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they, the elect, the remnant, the Israel, the Most High, the election, ascended up to heaven in a cloud, a so-called UFO, and their enemies beheld them. Matthew 24:31, and he shall send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. The Lord is dealing with the elect. All right. And the last, and never not least, Romans 11:5. Even so, then at this present time, also there's a remnant according to the election of grace. Even at that time, when Paul was on the scene, there was a remnant. So how much more now? And if by grace, then there is no more works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, which Israel seeketh for the truth. But the election have obtained it. Why? Because it's prophesied that the election will obtain it. We read in Isaiah 10:20, for the remnant of Jacob shall return unto the almighty power. All right, the remnant shall return unto the Lord in truth. So the remnant or the election is going to obtain it. Obtain what? The truth. Because Israel is seeking for the truth, but they're not going to obtain it. 2/3 thereof, because we read that they're going to be cut off and die here. And the rest were blinded. The rest of who? The rest of Israel. So I'm going to leave it there. Lord, when we edified through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, double honor to our elders and apostles of great millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom.